The INFJ duality is one of the most fascinating psychological paradoxes in the Myers-Briggs system. To understand why INFJs are both incredibly nice and quietly dangerous, you have to look beneath their soft-spoken exterior and into the mechanics of their mind, where introverted intuition and extroverted feeling dance in a delicate, volatile balance. Their niceness is not a facade. It is the natural expression of a worldview built on empathy and an instinctive awareness of emotional undercurrents. Yet their dangerousness is not malice. It is the consequence of deeply held convictions, an uncanny ability to see through people, and the silent power they wield when their internal alarms go off. If you want to truly understand yourself and unlock your full potential as an INFJ, check out the INFJ Mastery course today. The link is in the description of this video. From the moment an INFJ enters a room, they begin absorbing data that most people don't even realize they are transmitting. Tone, micro-expressions, pauses, contradictions, everything is processed quietly, intuitively, and rapidly. Because of this, INFJs often adapt themselves to others, smoothing conflicts and speaking in ways that make people feel safe and understood. This adaptive empathy is why they seem so nice. They are excellent at seeing what you need emotionally and providing it effortlessly. Their warmth is not fake, but instinctive. They genuinely want people to feel heard. Their compassion often runs so deep that they will carry burdens that don't belong to them, forgive offenses that would have broken others, and still show kindness even when it costs them. Yet behind that kindness sits a mind that is always reading between the lines. INFJs are not passive empaths. They are strategists of the emotional world. Their intuition notices patterns and motives long before those motives have revealed themselves openly. This is where the danger emerges, because INFJs often understand people better than those people understand themselves. They can anticipate outcomes, predict behaviors, and see the trajectory of a situation with frightening accuracy. When someone tries to manipulate them, the INFJ usually senses it immediately, but will often say nothing until they've observed enough to understand the full scope. Their silence is mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it is analysis. And when the INFJ finally decides they've seen enough, their response can be swift, precise, and devastatingly effective. This is because INFJs rarely act impulsively when pushed too far. Their decisions come from a place of deep conviction and long contemplation. They endure, tolerate, and give others the benefit of the doubt longer than most people would. But when that inner threshold is crossed, when someone violates their core values, betrays their trust, or repeatedly takes advantage of their kindness, the INFJ transforms. Their emotional warmth freezes into clarity. Their soft boundaries harden into something immovable. And the person who once received endless patience may suddenly face the sharp edge of INFJ decisiveness. The INFJ door slam is legendary not because it is dramatic, but because it is final. They vanish without noise, explanation, or remorse, having already processed every angle before making their choice. The INFJ's dangerous side is further amplified by their ability to influence people without appearing to do so. They wield emotional intelligence like a silent instrument, subtly shifting perspectives, gently guiding conversations, and planting insights that unfold in someone's mind long after the interaction has ended. It is not manipulation. It is persuasion via empathy, the ability to tailor a message precisely to the way a person thinks and feels. Most INFJs use this ability for good, often healing, inspiring, or comforting others. But if someone harms them repeatedly or threatens someone they care about, this same gift can become a weapon. INFJs can dismantle a manipulator's illusions by exposing their inconsistencies, confronting them with calm precision, or removing themselves so completely that the manipulator loses their emotional leverage. Another aspect of the INFJ duality lies in their emotional intensity. They are reserved on the surface, yet feel everything with extraordinary depth. Their niceness comes from this emotional richness, but the danger also stems from it. Because strong feelings combined with strong principles create a person who cannot be easily swayed or controlled. INFJs do not explode in anger. They crystallize. Their quiet fury is one of the most unsettling things to witness because it is calm, focused, and morally charged. It is the kind of anger that comes with a conclusion already drawn and a plan already in motion. They rarely seek revenge, but they always seek justice, even if that justice is simply removing their energy from someone who misused it. The most misunderstood aspect of INFJ duality is that their niceness is a conscious choice rooted in hope, whereas their dangerousness is a consequence rooted in discernment. INFJs idealize what people can become, not what they currently are. They offer kindness based on potential, empathy based on possibility. But if someone repeatedly proves that their intentions are harmful, selfish, or dishonest, the INFJ no longer sees the potential, only the pattern. And INFJs trust their patterns more than they trust anyone's spoken words. Once the pattern is clear, the INFJ becomes unshakable in their judgment. Their niceness evaporates because they no longer believe it is deserved. What makes them truly dangerous, however, is that they do not seek power, yet they possess it. They do not seek control, yet they understand others well enough to navigate around them effortlessly. They do not boast or threaten. They observe and decide. Many INFJs move through the world quietly, almost invisibly, yet influence people in profound ways. They are gentle until they are not. They are patient until they are done. They are understanding until someone mistakes their understanding for permission to cause harm. And then the softness stops. To understand the INFJ duality is to understand that their niceness is a gift, not a guarantee. The INFJ is both healer and protector, both empath and judge, both soft-hearted and steel-spirited. Their duality is not a contradiction, but a balance. Kindness offered freely, strength held quietly, and a mind capable of both profound love and unwavering resolve. This duality becomes even more striking when you examine how INFJs handle truth. They are deeply committed to honesty, but not the blunt, unfiltered honesty that bruises. Their truth is deliberate, ethical, and timed. They will soften the edges when someone is fragile, yet they will deliver the full force of reality when someone is hiding behind illusions. This ability to adjust truth to the emotional state of another person is part of their niceness. INFJs genuinely care about delivering insight in a way that helps rather than harms. But this same skill becomes dangerous when INFJs decide that a harmful person needs to be confronted. Their words, usually warm and supportive, become incisive and exact. They know exactly where lies have been buried, where contradictions are hiding, and where a person's facade is weakest. In these moments, the INFJ's quiet voice carries more impact than someone else's shouting ever could. Their duality also shows itself in the way they manage their emotional energy. INFJs are givers by instinct, often offering far more emotional support than they receive. They pour into others because they see potential, pain, and possibility all at once. This generosity is one of the most beautiful expressions of their niceness, yet it also reveals the roots of their dangerous withdrawal. When their emotional reserves are depleted or repeatedly exploited, INFJs don't simply pull back a little, they retreat completely. Their withdrawal is not passive, it is intentional. They shut the emotional door not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. And the person left outside often finds themselves bewildered by how quickly access was revoked. This isn't impulsivity. It is the INFJ recognizing that their gifts are being misused and reclaiming their energy with surgical precision. Another key facet of this duality lies in the INFJ's visionary mindset. They don't just think about what is happening. They think about what it means, what it could become, and where it is leading. Their niceness is influenced by this long-range insight because INFJs often try to guide others toward better versions of themselves. They encourage growth, offer perspective, and illuminate paths people didn't even realize were available. But this ability to foresee outcomes is also what makes INFJs dangerous when someone's intentions are harmful. The INFJ not only sees the immediate red flags, but also the eventual consequences, and they will act preemptively to protect themselves or others. Their foresight allows them to move before the threat fully materializes, giving them an almost strategic advantage without ever appearing confrontational. There's also the INFJ loyalty. When an INFJ commits to someone, friendship, romance, family, They commit with their whole heart. Their loyalty is deep, patient, enduring. They will stand beside someone through difficulty, misunderstanding, and complexity. This commitment is another hallmark of their niceness, because few personalities invest as completely or as sincerely. But INFJ loyalty has a shadow side. Once it is broken, it cannot be restored to its original purity. The INFJ does not hold grudges, but they do hold truths. Once they see that someone has crossed a moral or emotional boundary that violates their core values, the bond shifts permanently. They may continue being polite or kind, but the inner door is locked. This irreversible shift is subtle, silent, and incredibly final. Another example of the INFJ's calm, but formidable danger. And perhaps the deepest layer of this duality is found in the INFJ's inner world. Their niceness is rooted in this depth, because it gives them the ability to empathize beyond surface behavior and connect with the essence of a person. But this depth also gives the INFJ a rare ability to detach from a situation emotionally when the need arises. When the INFJ decides that something no longer aligns with their inner truth, they can sever ties with a precision that feels almost surreal. Others often underestimate this capacity because INFJs appear so gentle, so patient, so receptive. Yet beneath that softness is a profound internal strength that does not waver once a decision crystallizes. Their duality is pronounced even in how INFJs navigate conflict. They dislike confrontation, not out of fear, but out of principle. Harmony matters to them, emotional safety matters, and unnecessary chaos feels wasteful. Their niceness shows up in their desire to resolve misunderstandings gently, to de-escalate tension, to approach disagreement with nuance rather than aggression. But when conflict is unavoidable, an entirely different INFJ emerges. Their mind sharpens, their emotions steady, and their focus narrows to the heart of the issue with laser-like clarity. They stop cushioning their insights. They stop over-explaining. They stop protecting the other person's feelings at the expense of their own boundaries. In these moments, the INFJ's calm firmness is more intimidating than any raised voice could ever be. Their quiet intensity is supported by an internal moral compass that rarely wavers. INFJs are guided by principles, not convenience. Their niceness reflects the hope that people can rise to those principles, that kindness can inspire integrity, and that compassion can draw out the best in others. Yet this same moral core makes them dangerous to those who operate with deceit or selfish intent. INFJs cannot be easily swayed by flattery, manipulation, or emotional theatrics because they evaluate everything through a lens of authenticity. When someone's motives clash with the INFJ's internal truth, the INFJ becomes immovable. Their resolve hardens, their tolerance evaporates, and their ability to walk away becomes absolute. INFJs usually protect what they value. Their niceness extends generously to everyone, but their protective instincts are reserved for a select few, the people, dreams, and ideals that hold deep meaning for them. When something or someone they care about is threatened, an INFJ's demeanor changes instantly. The gentle nurturer becomes the vigilant guardian. The person who avoids conflict becomes the one who steps directly into it. Their intuition begins scanning every angle, every risk, every possible outcome, and they position themselves in ways that shield what they love without fanfare or recognition. Their danger lies in their ability to defend quietly but decisively, striking only when necessary, yet doing so with unwavering precision. Equally fascinating is how INFJs use distance as a strategic tool. While some people withdraw impulsively or emotionally, INFJs do it with intentional clarity. Their niceness initially keeps them invested, present, communicative, and hopeful. But once they detect patterns that threaten their peace or values, their withdrawal becomes a form of protection and recalibration. They step back to observe without emotional interference, to analyze the dynamics objectively, and to determine whether continuing the connection serves their integrity. This distance is often mistaken for coldness, but it's actually a sign that the INFJ is reclaiming power. The danger lies in the fact that once they've gained full clarity, they may re-enter with reinforced boundaries, or not return at all. The INFJ niceness is fueled by a desire to bring healing, hope, and meaning into the world. Their dangerousness emerges when those same values are threatened. The INFJ is a balance, one that protects their light fiercely, even if it means becoming a quiet storm when the moment demands it.